Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you can join me. My name is Sharon Jameson, and I am the CEO and the founder of the Jameson Group. And wanted to pop in for a couple of reasons. One is to say thank you for all of the text messages and the balloons and the wonderful messages, emails of wishing me a happy birthday. It feels such an honor and a blessing to be really, really good in my 50s. And I'm grateful to God for that. But what I thought I would do is to share with you some lessons that I have learned about friendship and healthy connections. This year, from 2019 to now, has been a year of refinement. It has been an interesting year about navigating different types of friendships and business and the ministry and my personal life. And I thought I would just pop in to share some of those lessons with you. And I'm using StreamYard, so I might not be able to see some of the comments if you're not registered with StreamYard. So let's get started. I want to share 5 lessons with you about friendships because as you enter into your 50s, new seasons of your life require different types of connections. And what you used to need when you were 20 and 30 are not the types of relationships that will fulfill you and support you as you continue to go on in your life. So the first thing, a lesson I learned, is the most important thing to share with people is the same vision and the same values. The most important thing to share with people is a vision and values. And that's really critical because the vision helps you know where to go and the values helps you understand how to act, right? And what you want as you are journeying on this life, you want to know where people are going, their vision, and you want to know how they're going to act, values, because it's your guide and what governs you. And when you are engaging with people and they have a different vision and different values, the ways that you will connect will be so problematic that you will spend more time managing the connections versus managing your calling or executing your calling. So I want you to think about your friendships and your relationships and ask yourself, are you in healthy relationships that where there's some non-negotiables, where you are sharing a vision, so you go into the same place, and this similar values, that you share the same ways of behaving. Or, for example, my values are liberation and empathy and authenticity and vulnerability, and you want to make sure that those things are alignment. Again, the vision is where you're going, and the values is how people govern their behavior. You guide and you govern, and you want to make sure those two things match when you connect in the fifth decade of your life. Really all the time, but it's more important now. The second thing I really want to share with you is that who you journey with affects if you end up at your destination. I'm going to say that again. Who you decide to journey with will determine if you reach your destination. When we think about our journeys in life, we are always growing, we are always developing. And the one thing you want to make sure you have in your life is a person who can journey with you, but journey with you in a way that you don't get distracted. Because it's easy to get distracted if you are doing life with people who don't really see you. Because a lot of people look at you, but they don't see you. They can't witness you. Because people who see you, people who witness you, can help you reclaim your power that we have given away throughout our lives. They can help you rediscover gifts and talents that maybe you have not cultivated. They can help you renew your mind and help you think bigger and deeper and broader. They can help you recalibrate your life when you're out of balance. but also they can redirect you back to yourself. People who you journey with, they will help you redirect yourself back to yourself because they understand that you have the wisdom that you need already inside of you. So be careful as you go through life that people expect you to ask you for their opinion. Because in life, again, the friends that are the closest to you, people you journey with, will help you reclaim your power, rediscover who you are, renew your mind, help you calibrate your life, and help you redirect yourself back to yourself. Second thing, again, be careful about who you journey with. Who you journey with in life will determine if you reach your destination. I had to learn the hard way that sometimes you will face seasons when you have to travel alone because a person is going a different way, or the relationship is so contentious because some people don't know how to disagree without disconnecting. And what you don't want to do, again, is to be with people where you have to manage the relationship or the friendship, then you can't bear fruit. So that's the second thing I learned. Make sure you understand that you're journeying with the right people. The third thing I learned on this journey this year is that it is important to understand that your trauma will talk you out of your truth. Your trauma will talk you out of your truth. And if this is resonating, please share it with some of your friends. We all have gone through trauma. Political trauma, career trauma, corporate America trauma, relationship trauma. And the trauma has a way of talking you out of what you know about yourself. Your trauma will try to make you feel or try to convince you that you're not worthy of success, not worthy of love, not worthy of promotion. Your trauma will have you thinking that you're not worthy of a healthy relationship, that you're not worthy of respect. It is hard to win when you're wounded. So one of the things I have learned this year is that you cannot be in healthy relationships if you allow your trauma to talk you out of your truth. What is your truth? That you're bold, brilliant, and beautiful, that you are worthy, that you're competent, that you're creative, that you're divine design, that you have a purpose, that you have a calling. Don't let your trauma talk you out of your truth. And if you're around people who cannot validate and verify and remind you of your truth, of the amazing person that you are, again, those might not be the people that you need to journey with. So that's the third lesson I learned in life. The fourth lesson I learned this year is that our relationships have to be bi-directional, mutual. They're going in bi-directional. Because if the relationships are not mutual and filled with reciprocity, you will always be on a deficit. And so it's important to think about your relationships, but your relationships will not be bi-directional without discussion. I think we have to remember that all people experience and express friendship differently. And if you have different expectations based on your needs for a friend, and if they have different expectations based on their need for a friend, and that if you're not talking, you will end up injuring each other, not because you want to, but because there has not been any conversations to make sure that what you are giving is what they need. Relationships, you need to pour in to them and people need to pour into you, but you want to make sure that people are pouring what you need, because what you don't want happening is that you need water and they're giving you wine. Are you having good conversations about people in your life, about what's expected, what's agreed upon? You never want to enter into any type of agreement, platonic, love, business, if there has not been a conversation. Clarity prevents a lot of struggle. And if there's no clarity because you think I should be giving you this and I think you should be giving me that, the relationship will be not only drama, but it will also prevent you from reaching your divine assignment. So we want to, that's the third thing. Your relationships have to be bi-directional, which means that there's a discussion that needs to happen and keep happening, because as you shift and evolve, the relationship will shift and evolve. And that's why it's important to have people who are good and welcome healthy conversation and conflict, because conflict is an amplifier, but it's also a clarifier. And the last thing I learned, I would want to share is that if you have friends who are different than you in color, in faith, or whatever it is, it's important that they are not only culturally competent, but also they are actively an activist. What does that mean? So often we get into relationships, or we have people that we work with, or we call them our friends, and they don't understand your unique history and your unique context that affects the quality of your life. And if you are in relationships with people and they don't understand what it means to be a Black woman, sometimes they cannot advocate for you because they will expect you to be silent about your pain or to minimize the impact of discrimination in your life. You never want to be around people who don't understand the anger that you have to deal with or the challenges that you deal with. Because sometimes if we're with people and they're not culturally competent, they will want to censor what we say, or they want to downplay the struggle that we endure. They want to downplay the microaggressions that we experience. And they'll understand that maybe they might not need to protest in the street, but they need to march themselves right into the mirror and to face their own internalized racism, systemic racism, institutionalized racism. Because if not, if you have a friend who's of a different color, who might be white, and they don't understand the privilege and how they act as in an entitled way, they can injure you, but also they can offend you in ways that they don't understand. Again, they have to be culturally competent to be your friend if they're a different race, but also an active activist, that they are always dismantling their own internal racism so that they don't operate from you from a place of supremacy or superiority. Because if they do, they're not longer your friend. And I see a lot of people who are in friendships with people who are not culturally competent and culturally sensitive. And they try to be friends with people who have not even addressed or tried to dismantle their own internalized racism, and they wonder why they feel censored or minimized in the relationship. So I learn as I engage with white people, especially now, that they have to be able to call themselves on their own internalized racism, or if I call them on it, be open to the conversation and not shut me down, because I will not allow someone to shut me down or shut me up and still be in my life. And that's something that I had to learn and continue to learn as I continue to walk in my own freedom and continue to own my own agency. So 5 lessons that I learned this year about relationships. I hope those things resonate with you. Again, I'll say them really quickly. 1, it's important. The most important thing to share with people is shared vision and to share values. So you want to make sure that people are being guided and governed by a set of behaviors and beliefs that help the relationships be fruitful. You don't want to be in a relationship where you're managing the connection more than you're executing your calling. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's important to remember that who you journey with will affect if you end up at your desired destination. Remember, sometimes people, if they're in your life, they have to be able to witness you and see you, which means that they have to help you reclaim your power, rediscover who you are, renew your mind, and help you redirect you back to yourself so you can be emotionally, spiritually at home in yourself. If not, you will be distracted and derailed. And you won't do what you have been called to do because they will become a hindrance versus a helper. The third thing I said is that it's important to understand that Your trauma should not talk you out of your truth. The truth is that you're amazing, that you're worthy of love, respect, support, success. And if you have a relationship that is allowing your trauma to talk you out of your truth, your wounds will win. And those are not the types of relationships that you want in your life, with people who trigger your trauma all the time, because your trauma will talk you out of your own calling and your own purpose. Fourth thing, the relationships should be bi-directional. Mutuality and reciprocity and synergy are important, but we got to have a conversation to make sure that there is some agreement on what friendship means and how friendship is experienced and expressed. Because if not, you will be frustrated that a person's not giving you something and they don't even know to give it to you. So that's the fourth thing. And the fifth thing is that if your friends are different than you are in their color, they have to not only be culturally competent, but be an active advocate, so that they are checking people outside of you, but they're checking themselves. Again, sometimes the protest is not in the street. The protest is in the mirror. And they have to march themselves in the mirror and to tease out their own internalized racism, so that they understand to be in connection with you means that they have to check themselves, because it's not good to be in relationship with people who think they are superior to you, and that honor you, or think that you should be silent about your pain, silent about your experiences, nor have to downplay or minimize your struggle. Important lessons. So I hope this resonates. Again, thank you for all of the wonderful wishes for my birthday. You made me feel so wonderful. I'm so grateful. And if you have some friendships, I hope these 5 things make you reconsider if you have the right people in your life. Because some people are not assistants, they are assassins. Some people are not helpers, they are haters. Some people are not supporters, they are saboteurs. And it is okay in life to understand that sometimes you have to go alone. You have seasons of aloneness. You don't have to make an announcement that you're cutting people off. Just grow, just live, just love, just support yourself. And the relationship that's not healthy will gradually wither away when you own who you are and you celebrate who you are and you refuse to be who you are not. So blessings to you. I'm going to do a whole series on this. So I will put the link to my newsletter, because I'm going to be talking about these issues more and more as I continue to see people being in relationships that are fatal and not fruitful. Because our relationship should help us be more purposeful and not predictable. And if you're in a relationship that's filled with shoulds, and shoulds are statements of judgment, people will should you to death. And you don't want to be shackled to shoulds, because it's hard to walk in your divine assignment if you've been shoulded on to a point that you have been shitted on so much that you have been shut down. So hope this helps. Blessings to you always. And again, I can't see your comments because I'm using StreamYard, and I hope to see you throughout the week as I continue to share some of the lessons that I learned in my in my mid 50s. I'll just leave it like that. Blessings to you. Bye-bye.